here are all the reasons I will sadly not be repurchasing my VEJA Campos and what I am buying to replace them, or what I have bought to replace them. I'm also sorry for the door being open, but it's in case my golden retriever wants to come visit. I do not make the rules in this house. So you may have seen a video in which I unbox these lovely trainers, and in that video I talk about all the reasons that I was excited to have purchased them, the amount of thought that had gone into purchasing them, and all of these things. And whilst I absolutely stand by all of those reasons, I love VEJA as a company. I think they are absolutely going about things in the right way. I think the impetus behind the creation of the brand is brilliant. I'm really so for them in so many ways. However, having owned a pair of these trainers now for, like I say, nearly 2 years, I won't be repurchasing them, sadly, and I feel like I do need to explain why. So the first sort of reason is that these are made out of vegan leather. That just means plastic. There's no real way around that. I know that there are some sort of plant-based vegan leathers now, and that's great. Obviously, this kind of technology will just continue to develop. Brilliant. But the problem with that is that these are the least breathable shoes I have ever worn. And I mean, you know, forgive me if that's TMI, but they really are. There is no ventilation in them, which does mean that these are actually quite waterproof for a trainer. So, you know, that will put that in their, you know, in their favor. But your feet get so hot in these. And now generally during the winter, I have a pair of like high top trainers that I tend to wear because they just keep your ankles a bit warmer. So I'm generally wearing these in the summer or the spring, summer, you know, when the weather is warmer, okay? Non-breathable shoe, warm weather, I'll let you draw your own conclusions. So they're actually not comfortable to be wearing. And the other reason, there's a few reasons they're not very comfortable. The other reason, and you'll see that I have actually tried to combat this, and actually quite successfully combated it, by putting in a little insert in here. They are totally unsupportive of your foot. Now, most trainers are completely unsupportive of your foot. Now, the brand of trainer that I have chosen to replace these actually is one of the ones that I find more supportive. So we'll get onto that in a second. But I had to put one of these little inserts in because I have quite a high arch in my foot, and I was just finding that basically the first real like stretch of time that I wore these for, I was working and I was stood playing on a stage for hours a day for about a week. And I cannot describe to you the pain that my feet were in. Honestly, I could barely walk. I was getting back to the room every night and having to like use a tennis ball to sort of massage my feet. It was bad. So if you are standing up for a long period of time, these are not comfortable. The other thing that made them not very comfortable, you can kind of see it there. By the way, sorry for just sort of shoving a used shoe in your face. I will wash my hands thoroughly after filming this, but it's just, it's the only way I can really show you. Can you see how it is worn at the back there? And this happened really quite quickly. Now, I should preface all of this by saying I have worn these a lot because I love the look of them. I absolutely love the look of them. They're great. They go with absolutely everything. Like I said, they're quite waterproof for a trainer. So when it's raining in the summer, I've generally had these on and they've been great for that. Can you tell? I'm really conflicted. But yeah, these wore away, and so they really now rub my heel. These have gotten less comfortable the more I've owned them, and I think that's also a bit of a problem with the vegan leather design, is that obviously vegan leather doesn't soften with wear, whereas if this was a leather pair of trainers, they would have softened and molded to my foot and done all the things. So yeah, so they were just really quite uncomfortable. Another reason that I will not be repurchasing them is the way they've worn here. You can really see that obviously, you know, as my foot has bent, this has creased really, really badly. And, well, I say really, really badly, like, it's fine. But I like to wear these for work. I'm a musician, and for rehearsals and stuff, you know, we can wear casual clothes, it's fine. But I've started to feel like these are a bit shabby, really, for work, and that's not, I can't fix that. Like, I couldn't have done anything to for that to not happen, if that makes sense. So yes, those are all the reasons for just kind of hating on this shoe. I don't hate, like I say, I wanted, and I did love this shoe. I have loved wearing it, but I have loved it less the longer I've owned it, because it's gotten more and more uncomfortable. Like I say, I've done various little things like inserts and stuff to make it more comfortable, but ultimately it hasn't worked out for me. And like I say, I'm sad because I still love the look of them, and I still put these on going, oh yeah, but they look great and I really love how they look. And then I get to the end of the day and I've got blisters on my heels, and I'm like, yeah, that's not the point of a trainer. These are supposed to be really comfortable. So yeah, I'm so sorry, VEJA. Not that they'll see this video, but I really wanted to love these, and I'm probably not going to throw them out because, like I said, I mean, they are just plastic, so what's going to happen to these? So I'm probably just going to hold on to them and wish I could wear them, which is a bit sad, and I should really not do that, but I think they do. I mean, I don't know the rest of their lines super well, but I know a few people have said they haven't found them that comfortable. I don't know if they do any leather shoes now. If they do, then maybe I would consider those, but you know, this was a £140 pair of trainers. I'm pretty sure it was 140. That's not cheap. Okay, it's not in the upper echelons by any stretch, but it's not cheap. And for that amount of money, yes, I know you're buying an ethical product, and that, do not get me wrong, is hugely important, and that is actually a slight criticism I potentially have of the trainers that I've chosen to buy to replace these. And that was a tussle that I had. And so obviously, like I say, I love what these guys are doing. I love the ethos. I love the thinking behind it. But sadly for me, I'm not going to be repurchasing this. And I felt like I should share that after the video that I had unboxing these has done very well on my channel. Lots of people have seen it. And I feel like I owe all those people a bit of a follow-up. Okay, hands thoroughly washed. It feels weird holding your shoes when you're like, kind of been walking around the floor. But like I say, it's the only way I can show you. So I have purchased a pair of trainers, which are the replacements to these. And they are probably going to come as no surprise to anyone, because this pair of shoes went absolutely nutso about a year ago. Everyone and their dog had these shoes. In fact, I'm pretty sure I did see an Instagram of somebody's dog wearing little baby versions. Anyway, they went absolutely everywhere. And of course that meant that I went, no, I don't want the shoes that everybody else has. I want something a bit different. And I was proudly wearing my VEJAs, limping around with my blisters. And so I didn't. Oh, look, they're trying to escape. It's like a little spider leg, isn't it? Pop that back in there. But I've had pairs of Adidas or Adidas, however you say it, trainers before, and I have always loved them. They suit the shape of my foot really well. And going back to the problem of standing for hours and having really painful feet, I did the same event the year before, wore my Adidas Gazelles all week, and I mean, yes, I was stood up for hours a day, so yes, my feet were tired, but they didn't hurt. And so I was like, okay, when I realised that I wasn't going to be repurchasing those, I started thinking about what I might like to get instead. I wanted a shoe that was super versatile. I wanted something that was well made and was going to last me. And primarily I wanted a shoe that was going to go with everything. I was going to buy a black pair of Adidas Gazelles, example A, because I had those were the Adidas that I had before, and they were so comfy. I loved how they looked, loved the aesthetic of them. But if I'm buying shoes to replace the VEJAs, then really they've got to go with stuff that white trainers will go with. I want to be able to wear these like with dresses and things in the summer. Anyway, enough chat. I'm not embarrassed to show you these. I will explain why I went for these exact ones when I've got them out. So these are the Adidas Samba Originals. And now, yes, they are in this colorway, which I know many people bought and loved and wore to absolute death. And I know loads of people came out and said, you know, oh, this was a trend and they've kind of gone now. And they're kind of right. But I have recently seen a few people here and there still wearing these, and every time I've seen somebody wearing them, I'm like, I really, really love that trainer. It's such a good design because you've got the grey, the white and the black. It literally goes with everything, particularly if you're wearing, you know, wide leg trousers. Say you're wearing like a beigey kind of wide leg trouser, you've got the brown and the kind of greyish colour, they go. If you're wearing black jeans, you've got the black, they go. If you're wearing blue jeans, all of these colours go. They just work. Now, I'd be interested to see if I can style these with dresses. That's the only thing that's going against them. But equally, I don't really wear trainers and dresses a lot anyway. It's not part of my regular wardrobe rotation. So I'm really, really excited to be styling these and wearing these. I just really love the design of them. I love how slim they are, but equally they still have that slightly wider fit here, which will mean that your foot can kind of move and bend. They are suede and leather, so liquid proof these. If you are also buying suede shoes, please liquid proof them. I shall be doing that immediately. But because they are leather, these are gonna breathe. So your foot is not gonna get quite so uncomfortable. They have more of the arch support. I do have some more little inserts if they are required. It's not the worst thing that I'm gonna have to do, and I'm gonna have to cut off all the little labels and things. Something I will say though, if you are buying a pair of Adidas trainers, is that I'll have to size up a half size in almost all of their designs. I have a pair of the Campus, I think they are, and in the suede, and I have those in my regular size. But in these I have sized up half size because that was my only problem really with my Gazelles. I loved them, but they were always just that tiny bit too small. If I did a lot of walking in them, just the edge of my toe would just feel a little bit tender because it kind of been squashed a little bit. So I've sized up a half size in these and they fit perfectly. So I would just say that, just be aware, because of the slightly slimmer design of these, going up half a size just means you can adjust the laces and just give you know, tighten them up a little bit, rather than having to like constantly feel like you're trying to loosen them and then they're a bit too short this way, and yeah, not ideal. So yeah, let me know what you think. Would you have made the same decision? Do you disagree? Do you think these shoes are completely overdone? I would agree with you on that point if you are one of those people, apart from the fact that I think the people that were wearing these because they were a trend piece have now stopped wearing them. And therefore the only people that are left wearing them are the ones that actually really just liked the design. And I know that sounds a tiny bit snobbish, I don't mean it to, but genuinely I just really, really like these. And I think that goes for any kind of trend piece. If it is something that you genuinely really enjoy the look of, the aesthetic of, it'll work really well with everything in your wardrobe, and you know you will continue to wear it after it stops being a trend, then go for it. It literally doesn't matter. Unless it is your job to show the latest trends, crack on. But to be honest, all of us are just kind of making do with what we've got, adding the odd new piece as we go. And I will say, these are also my one fashion item a month purchase for February. Did I buy these in March? No, these are my March ones. I have a different February one, which I actually haven't shown you yet, so I'll probably record a little short for that. But these were my one item a month purchase for March, and I am very, very happy with them. And I'm very excited that I have now filmed this video and can actually get on with wearing them because they've been sat in my room for about 2 weeks. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Let me know if it was helpful. What is your favourite brand of trainer? I'm genuinely be interested to know, because I think I may be just an Adidas girl now. I think this may be it, but then I said that about Converse. So we shall have to see. Subscribe to my channel if you are not already and would like to see more from me. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye.